Okay, so let's go. So last time we did some stuff, which is I think we go to this place. Yeah, we learn how to execute a function in C. Sorry, execute a program rather in C, not a function. So we also learned creation of variables. Okay, we learned that, and we did some example too as well. Then we also started talking about the output and the input operation. And I said the output and input operation is, included over here, the standard input and output header. Okay. And we started talking about the print function. Okay, so the print function. And we did some stuff. I remember this is your script. This is your script. This is what we did. So I remember we did something like this. Okay. Let me zoom in so that you're able to see it properly. Okay. Oh, 1, 2. Okay, so we did something like this.
So
Yes,
I can't see your screen.
you guys see my screen?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, I'm not even sharing now. Forgive me. Forgive me here, please.
It's fine.
All right. I was supposed to share, but I just started talking. All right. So you can see now.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's fine. All right. Let me change the font size a little bit up. Let's see. 28 will be a little bit okay. Or let me make it 30 rather. 30 is fine. Yeah, because of the recording, so that I'll be able to see it properly. Okay. So we did this last time where we used the print and we said is the printf is included over here, the standard preprocessor. We did that, right? Okay. So last time when I met the group A, they did some example for me. Okay, where I asked them to print their name, they should print the course that they are doing, and also they should also print their weight. They did that. Okay. So the printf is used, okay, to display things to the screen. Okay, so here we spoke that this is a placeholder. This is a placeholder. This one tells you the type, the data type that is storing, and this is an escape character. That means come to the new line. That's what we learned. Okay. All right. So the next one we want to talk about is the input. So we can make it main input. So let's include our things, which is the standard input output. Sorry. Standard input. Okay, .io. Then int main. Okay. Then we have our thing now. Okay. Now I showed them something last time when we met. I showed you guys something that if you want to open the command line so that you can compile the code from there, you right click on the folder. So you guys are group B. So I right click on group B, then I'll click on this. Open in integrated terminal. When I click on it, check the path. You see the paths, I have the full path to that. So if I do directory, okay, it lists all my files in that folder for me or in that directory for me. Okay. So what you want to use is you want to learn how to use the scanf. The scanf enables you to take inputs. So let's come here. All right. So we spoke about this also and asked you to take a look at it well. So if you are doing printing or scanning, this is for both printf and scanning. This one too is the same thing. But when you come here, can you take a look at it? This is for float. This also is for float or double, any of them. If you are printing, we only use this for that. And if you are scanning, we use all the LF. Okay. I hope it is clear. Okay. Please, your friends who are not here, I said I'll be taking attendance. My platform, when I'm done with the meeting, it will cache the system. So kindly, they should note that. Okay, it will go against them. So kindly call them. Okay. So this is scanf. So here it enables you to actually watch input. But C, as I said, is different from Python. Let me, I'll come back to this later, but let me implement something simple. So here, we want to have a code that will ask the person to enter, let's see, a number and maybe square the number. Okay, so a program to ask a user to enter a number and what square the number. Okay, right? So what we'll do is we declare our variables as usual. So I'll say int, then the variable is num. After declaring, we need to get a prompt. Okay, so a prompt for the user. So that's why we use a printf that comes in and you say that what enter the number. That's the first thing we do. Now, what I want to do is that I'm doing this in such a way that I don't want I could use the new line. Okay, I could use the new line to come to the next line to come, but I don't want to do that. So I want the person to enter the number on that same line. So that's why I'm doing something like this. Okay, just for formatting purposes. Okay, then I do the scanf. So when I do the scanf, there are two things that I'm supposed to do, or it takes two, or the argument there of two parts. The first thing is it takes the data type, then also it has this and also the variable. Sorry, it has this and also the variable. All right. So what you are seeing over here, this is the name, which is the scanf. But when you come into the parentheses, it takes two things. This is the data type, this is a placeholder, and this is actually the variable. Now what you are seeing over here is called the ampersand. It's known as what the address of, as you can see over here, the address of. What this address of is doing is that when you take the computer memory, the RAM, they have registers, okay? Registers. So what we actually do, or what the ampersand is doing is that it is giving us, or it is taking the value to the address of that variable. Remember, when you create a variable, what have you done? You created what? An address in a computer memory where we are saying we want to store a value or want to store a data over there, right? You want to do that. But we need to access that address. Python has abstracted that one for us. So we don't have any problem. But in C, it is not like that. That's what we said. C, nothing is what? Hidden. Okay, nothing is protected. So what we are doing over here is that first, what the number is, the D over here means it's an integer. Then the ampersand over here is saying the address of. So pick the variable or the number the person will enter, send it to the address of that variable and go and put it over there. That is the meaning. Okay. So after that, we can do our computation where I can have another variable num. Then I say total or answer. Then what will I do? I'll say num star or 2. So, sorry, we are squaring. So you have to be num star num. So here we are multiplying the number by itself. Then I will output my results, which I also use a printf again. Then I'll say what the final answer is. Then I will just use this, okay, space over here. Then what do I have? I have my answer. All right. So that is that. So here, sorry. Okay. So here, this is the scanf. So we are taking out input. So taking out inputs from this direction. Then here we do our calculation. Okay. So we calculate. All right. Then here we print out. So let me save it. Then what will I do? I can compile it, which is GCC main inputs. Okay. Then O and main input. Right. If nothing goes wrong, it's supposed to compile successfully, and I have the executable over here. So I can call my executable again. Then I have it now. So enter a number. If I enter 5, you say the final answer is 25, or the square of 5 is 25. Right. Now let me make this one better. Okay. So I can say the square. Okay. So the square. Sorry. The square of. Then I can put another placeholder over here. Then here must be equal to sign. Okay. This is similar to Python, but I mean, we are going more into the system instead of the Python doing abstraction for it. Python, we use all the F print, if you remember. So the square of 5 is this. So what do? I have to put one num over here. Okay. then put comma over here. So this is also good. So that to be proper, the formatting will be a little bit odd. Okay. So here, if I enter 5, it tells me the score of 5 is 25. You get it. So that's for the scanf. Okay. All right. So this is just taking one scanf, but we can take multiple scanf. There's an issue we normally face a lot in C, which I will talk about it very soon. So if you have a question, you can stop me so that I explain it further on. So that is that for the scanf. Okay. So here, if you look at this, here we are entering a character. That's why you see here C over there. So this C tells you that it's a character. Now, when you see something like this, okay, when you see something like that, means you can enter 3 characters, okay, at the same time. Let me show you this, okay, so that maybe I want to write another program to add 2 numbers, okay. That is something I ask them to do, but because you are not in class, I have to do it myself. So a simple adder, okay, so I make it what adder or C, okay. So hash include standard, then int main, okay. So sorry, the program to add 2 numbers, okay. All right, the program to add 2 numbers. So what we'll do is I define int number 1, number 2, okay. I have them. Then maybe I can have another one, which is what sum, but maybe I can make it float rather, or double. Float is fine, okay. Can make it float. Double is a lot of space for me. The reason I'm doing this is that should somebody enter a decimal number, it should still work, okay. So here I prompt the user, but I'm going to do something. I prompt the user for input. So I'll say that what printf, then I'll enter the numbers, okay, which I'll use this. When I come here in Python, we have to do it one by one, but in C, you can do something like this, which we use floats, sorry, percentage float, then another one. So here, I can have number 1, then comma what? Number 2, I didn't bring the ampersand, forgive me. Sorry. Oh, okay. So look at it. So here, when you do something like this, it means I'm taking the input, okay, at the same time. I don't have to do it, enter number 1, then enter number 2, okay. So C allows that, okay. So if you look at it here, what you do is that if you are entering, when you enter, you can press enter, then C will accept it, then you enter the next one again, or you can use space. You can use space. So when you press the number space, the next number, C will accept it. So here, if I want to do float here, then total, okay, then it's going to be what? Number 1 plus what? Number 2, okay. Then here I will output my result. That's what? Print, okay, which is what? The sum of float plus, or just let me make it short rather. So this plus this, okay, is equal to this, that's, okay. Then here I can have what? Number 1, number 2, then what? Total. All right. Okay. So this, if I compile it, let's see if nothing goes wrong, okay. Then let me compile it again, which is at ECC adder, okay, adder. Okay, nothing went wrong, so adder. All right. All right, so enter the number. So I enter 4. I can use space over here. Then I enter 5. Then I enter 4 like this. Okay, I press the enter. Have you seen it's adding for me? So you see, I don't need to say enter number 1 then like that, like what we used to do in Python. Or I can also do it this way. If I say enter 7, I can press the enter key. Then C will be waiting for me to enter the next number. Okay, then when I press enter, it adds. Okay, you get it? Okay. No question means you are okay now. All right. So we can do that. Now let me explain something over here so that when I get to the slides, I don't have to explain again. Now, if you look at the output, you see the floats. Look at the decimal places we have. I don't want them. So what I can do is that I can specify the number of decimal places, known as what? Output formatting. So here I'll put dot zero. It means read it to what? To 0 decimal places. I don't like it. Or let me read it to 1 decimal place so that it will look nice. 1 decimal place, 1 decimal place, then what? Dot 1. I'll do something like this. Okay. So that if you look at it, the decimal places are quite a lot. Okay. I mean, it's waste of what? Memory. Okay. So if I compile it, run again, enter this, enter that. Have you seen it? So it send it to 1 decimal places for me. So look at how it is done. Look at how it is done. All right. Right. So the next one is when you're using characters, and I've shown you characters. So I've shown you 8 and also floats. Characters are a little bit, they have a lot of issues. Okay, when you're dealing with characters, that's something that if you don't take care, it will confuse you or you get a lot of heart attack. So let's have a program called myself. Okay, where the person will input your gender, you input your age, then you input your weight. And I'm going to do it one by one. So let's create another folder myself here. .c. All right. So I wanted to do so hash include standard input output. Okay. Hash include standard input output. Then what I will do is int main, right? Then I have my this. So here we have declare a variable. So I have int age because age is only integer. Then I have car, gender. Let me terminate my thing. Then I have floats, then weight. Okay. So here I can prompt the user to enter these things on a single line. Okay. So let's do that. So here, that is something that you have to be very, very careful, especially if you have different. Yes. Hello? Hello? Who mentioned my name? Okay. So let's use the printf to prompt the user. Okay, so tell the person, enter your age, okay, gender, and what? And weight. So we do that. Okay. We do that over here. So what we do, we are going to use the scanf, which is the first one is age, so D. The second one is gender, C. And the third one is weight, F. Then I can now accept all of them. So this is age, comma. This is gender, comma. Then this is what? Weight, comma. We have this now. Okay. So now if I print out, now say that you are this year's old, okay, and sorry, print again. You are this, okay, gender. Then the last one, you can see what? Print F. You see what? You weigh as floats, LF rather. Well, I think one was print, yeah. Then we have weight over here, yeah. Okay, so here I have to put you over here, or is it of family? Then you have to put what? Age over here. Age, okay. Here you have to put gender over here. We didn't do that. All right. So we have this now. You see. Okay. So let me compile it and let's see the issue you have with C. Okay, one of the issues you have. See myself. All right. And myself here. Okay, to task run successfully. Let's see. All right. So watch my input. So here, age. Let's assume the person is 5 years. then I can press enter. Then I will ask for the gender. So the gender is expecting a character. So let's assume the person is a male. Have you seen it? You see, it didn't allow me to enter what? The weight. And look at the errors it's giving me. Okay. I have to even do this. Have you seen it? See the error it's giving me. That is something we have in C. Okay, which sometimes if you're not careful, okay, this kind of system, how to use LF rather. If you're not careful, okay, I mean, you get frustrated with C. Okay, you get frustrated. So if I compile and I do the same thing again, okay, the same thing is going to happen. Have you seen it? Let me do it, then run again. So wait, the person is 6 years old. I said enter the gender. The gender is, let's say, M. I press enter, it comes. That is a bug in C. Okay, that is a bug we have in C. That's a gender. Sorry. So you are this. Okay, that is a bug we have in C. So how do we, stop it? All right. So this is what we are going to do to stop that. So what we do is that we have to take the character first before we take the numbers. Okay, yeah, because the space or even the enter is a character to C. So when you press the enter, the C will read it as a character, and that's why you are seeing space over here. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. So if I here do something like 5, then M like this, then 0.7. Okay, have you seen that the gender is missing? There's nothing there. Okay, so C takes are we sending a message? Hello, sir. Since it's already 6:30, people just left the call, and I suggest you set another day for the meeting. What do you suggest? Who is this? Okay. Hey, a lot of meetings today. All right. So have you seen the mistake now? So this is something that C has. So what we do is that there are 2 ways in doing that. What we do is that we take the character first before we take the number, so that we swap. Let's swap this, and this will not have any problem. So we swap this, then we interchange this. Okay, we interchange this. So we do something like this, which is fine. This is okay. So you take the character first before you take any other thing. Okay, so let me compile it, then run my script again. So if I enter, I'm supposed to swap this. So if I enter the M, then I enter the age, then I enter the weight, I don't have any issue. Have you seen it? It has come now because I put the character first. Okay, so spaces, enters are all character, and C doesn't care. C will just read it like that. So you, the person, you have to be very, very careful when you are building system for people to use. Okay, so either you do this or there's another way to combat this, which let me return back to the previous one. Okay. Okay. So what you do is that you put a space between your placeholder and the C. This space, you create a space over here. This space is very, very important. If you want to maintain this without taking a character first, then you create a space here. Okay. So here's, if I run this, okay, I won't have any issue because I'm telling C that spaces, you should ignore spaces. So this, what have I even done? I just put 5 over there. Age, gender. Oh, I'm coming. I'm making a mistake. Here. No, yeah, it's here. No, I'm coming. Or I should accept it on single lines. If I put the age, okay, let me put the age on the same, then gender, M, then wait, this. No. Okay. So these are some of the bags we have in C. So I think the space works if you want to take all the inputs separately. I think so. If you want to take all the inputs separately, because when I create this, it's still reading it. It's not working. Okay, it's still not working. I don't know why it's not working. All right. So what we can do is we take the inputs separately. So here I can put this like this. Then I have age like this. Enter your age. Okay. So enter your age. I can do something like this. Then okay. Enter. Then here I'll say enter your gender. So when I come here, I enter the gender. So here I can put a space over here. Then here. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I'm coming. The first one I made a mistake. I didn't even pay attention to it. What I was, yeah, it's correct. All right. Okay. So here we change it to C. Then here is what? Gender. All right. So it is here that I'm talking about. I will leave space over here. No, you leave the space over here rather. I think so. Yeah, you leave the space over here. Okay, so we can't do it on that single line. It will not work. But this one, it will work. Okay. Then here to change it to what? To float. Then here you have your what? Your weight. Okay. The weight. Something like this should work. So here, if I compile it, I mean, I shouldn't get any problem. Okay. At all. All right. So age, this. Gender, this. Then this one. Have you seen it's working now? So here must be a weight, brother. Have you seen it? So you see just this hyphen. Have you seen it? So it's telling C that ignore all the spaces that come. Okay. So if I type enter, when I run my script, I type enter your age, this. Okay. I mean, I don't have any issue. It will still come. Okay. F, then that. Okay. All right. So any question regard to that? Okay. So that is that with the scanf. So let's conclude and I'll leave you guys. So here every C program must begin with what? With the preprocessor directives. We said it. Then it also has what? A main function. And then the main function has what? The curly braces around it. Okay. So so you put your code inside that. That means all this block belongs to the main function. Then this is the what? The preprocessor directives. Okay. So the preprocessor directive. Okay. You have this. Are you okay? Then we have this, then that. I've said it. Now let's talk about operations. Okay. Now this you've done it already in Python, but my main focus is going to be here, the division. Okay. Now C, we said C is what? C doesn't care. Okay. If you, the programmer, don't take into consideration some of these things, C will penalize you seriously. Okay. So here, if you look at this, in Python, we have two types of what? Operation, right? For the division, we have what? The floor division or the integer division. Then also have what? The float division, if you remember. But C doesn't care. So we have to be very, very attentive when you are building systems, especially to do sort of what calculations and stuff. So here I'm going to write a script right now to divide two numbers, and you see what C will do to me. So let's have a simple calculator. Okay, but I'll complete it, but let me just create something simple. So a simple calculator. Okay. Yeah, simple calculator. Okay, let's see. All right. So hash include, which is standard input output. All right. Int main. Okay. So here I will complete it. I mean the calculator, but let's focus on the division now. So int num1, then num2. Okay. Then I'll have my answer. Okay, I have everything here. So I'll prompt the user, let the user enter the same on the same line. Okay, so print F. Okay, so I say enter the numbers. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll use the scanf to take it on the same line. Okay, which is what? This, sorry, E again. Then which is answer, right? All right, so we have this now. Then we can print our results. Oh, sure, I didn't do the division. So let's do the calculation first. All right, so calculate, which is what? Answer is equal to number 1 divided by what? Number 2. Okay, so here, what do I have? Okay, so I can say so number 1 divided by number 2, okay, is equal to this. So I can put it in there, number 1. Oh, number 1, number 2, then what? Answer. All right. So let me run my script right now, which is VCC, a simple calculator. Okay, yeah, simple calculator. Okay, so it's done compiling now. So it's simple calculator. I can run it again. So I have this now. So let me enter the number, this and that. Let me press enter. Oh, I'm coming. Because I put a space over there, she's going to struggle. All right, so I run it, I enter, then I enter, then I press the enter. Hey, sorry. You guys are not correcting me. I hope you've seen the error. I didn't put, you see the address, because I didn't put the address off over here. Have you seen it? I didn't put the address off over here. You see, you couldn't do the calculation for me because it's lost. You can't put it in the variable that I specify. You get it? Yeah. So we have this, we have that. Oh. What am I even doing? Because I'm rushing too much. Let me take my time. Hey, what is happening? Am I making a mistake? Oh, you guys are not correcting me. I'm supposed to put number 1 here, number 2 here. Oh, I'm just watching the thing without paying attention to my mistakes I'm doing. Hey, you guys. Hey, you are scaring me. If I'm going to fall in a ditch, you guys will let me fall. Some of you are not happy because you are online. Okay. Aha. Now look at it. 5 divided by 7. Is it 0? No, it's not 0. Is it 0? No, it's not 0, right? So what is the issue? What is the issue? Because C doesn't care. Okay. I mean, C will return 0, as I showed you in the slide over here. It will return 0. It doesn't care. So if you want to get a decimal, okay, if you want to get a decimal, there are 2 things you have to do. Either you change all these things to float, so that I have float over here. Then I change here to F. Change here also to F. Let me leave the answer to some decimal places. Or let me leave it like that. Let me save it. Okay. Compile this. Then run. Okay. Have you even seen it? It's still giving. No, where is the mistake? No. Here must be F rather. Here to is F. Here to is F. You see, C doesn't care. Everything is on you. Okay, if you don't check those things, you'll be in trouble. Aha. So you see, C just returned what? This one for me, right? Because I converted all of them to float. But if you don't want to do that and you still want to maintain your int, then you need to force C. You need to force it. Okay, you need to force it. This is where we call something typecasting. Typecasting. This one, typecasting. You cast the value. You cast the value, right? So this is what we can do. Okay. So if I want to report, I still want to maintain this, but I want my final answer, this one to be float, but here is going to be int. Okay, this is going to be int. Here is float. Okay, so here I can make here D. I can also make here D, right? Here I'm going to take integers, all right. But let's see something. Here is D. Here also is what? D. Okay, this one is float. That's what I'm making. I'm leaving this float over here. So let's compile it. And let me run again. So this. Have you seen it's still giving me 0? Have you seen it? Yes. It will give me 0, but it's not supposed to give me 0. Although the answer is in float, but the ones doing the division, they are all integers. And it can report what? The decimal aspect. So when it happens like that, what you do is what? You need to do casting. So you can cast one of the numbers. You don't need to cast all, but you can cast one. So how do you cast? So I can cast only the numerator. If you are casting, this is how you do it. So I'm casting the numerator to the decimal. I can do both of them like this. I can do something like this, which is acceptable. Okay. Yeah, you can do this. That means I'm forcing that, although I declare that the person is supposed to enter the thing in integers, when you're doing the calculation, force the numbers to what? To decimals, and do the division for me. Have you seen now the answer has come now? So that is what typecasting. The same way I'm doing it for float, I can also do it for int, where I can put what? Int over here, put int over here. That is typecasting. Okay, so some of these things you have to be very, very careful. C doesn't care about you. You have to make sure you check all these things. Okay, all right. So that is it. So the next one is, this is fine. This, please, we did this one in Python. So remember, I can give you an expression like this and ask you to write a C version. Okay, so kindly take notes. When you have division like this, you need to bring the parentheses to make sure that this is how it's supposed to be done. Okay, in exams, I won't tell you to do it that way, but you have to make sure that I didn't even put this one here. Okay, so for example, here, if I'm supposed to convert this, it's going to be 1 over or into bracket 1 plus or x times x. Okay, that is what's supposed to happen over here. Okay, so let me even write it so that you guys will see it here. All right, so this one is supposed to be 1, then 1 plus x star what? X, something like this. This is how it's supposed to be. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be, right? This, when you convert this mathematically, okay, you're supposed to get something like this. Okay, now the next thing is formatting. Okay, formatting. So I'm going to do this. I think that'll be the end. The errors, I told the other group to go and read about it. So let's do the formatting. We started around 7:18, so left with some few minutes. I'll finish right now. Formatting. Now, formatting is very, very important. It plays a major role in how your things you can rearrange your things. But there are other escape characters I'll talk about, known as the tab escape character, and also we have a lot of them. I'll talk about it next week. Okay, so let's look at some formatting techniques that I want to do. So I'm going to do one for the calculator over here. So I'm going to complete the calculator where we are going to use some formatting here. So here, let me make this one divide. Okay, then I think that is all. So I think that's the only thing that is going to be divided here. Okay, so the rest, multiplication and all, they all be what? Int. So here is what? Subtract. Then we also have what? Multiply. All right. Then we also have modulo, which is remainder. Okay. All right. Or let me make it modulo rather. Okay. That's how they spell it. Is it like this? No, modulo. Yeah, something like this. So here the person enters. So here we do a division over here. I always say I'm lazy, so what will I do? I'll just copy the thing. I'll copy the thing, then I'll paste it over here. I just have to change this all the way to addition. I didn't even add addition to it, so let's add here. Add. Okay. So here I don't need this. I don't do any casting. When I'm adding two integers, I'll still end up getting what, an integer. All right, so I have this now. Then I also do one for subtraction. Okay, I do one also for subtraction. So this is subtraction, subtract, and I change this. Okay, sorry, I change this. Then I would also do one for multiplication. If you multiply two integers, you end up getting what, an integer. All right, so multiplication or multiply, where I put a star over here. Then the last one, the remainder, is the modulo. You've done this one already in Python, so I'm not shouldn't talk much, which is the remainder, which is the modulo, the percentage symbol, which is this to me. Okay, all right, so we have this now. Now we want to report this. Okay, so how do we do the report? So let me make here divide. How do you report this? So I can do some nice tabbing. So for example, here I can format this one and say that leave this one to 2 decimal places, but leave 6 spaces. Now let me explain this thing to you over here. Now if you look at the formatting, okay, here you see 4D over there. It means leave 4 columns. Leave 4 columns. But if our answer over here is 3 columns, that means you're going to have 1 empty column, if you get it. Look at this here to 5. That means leaves 5 columns. But our answer is 3. So our answer is going to take what? 3 of the columns and 2 will be left. Here too, I'm leaving what? 6 columns. Our answer is what? Is 3. So it's going to take 3 columns, leave 3 columns. But here, look at it. 1 column. So nothing. I mean, to just keep like a normal, as if you didn't put any formatting over there. Okay. The same thing over here. So remember, all the minuses are all character. They occupy a column. So if you want to format, or you are creating an application where you want to rearrange your things, these things you have to plan carefully to know the values that you'll be getting, so that you'll be able to rearrange it well. Okay, so here if I make addition, so here let's assume I'm using 666 for them, but this must be D. Okay, and then here to is subtraction. All right, so here must be what? Add. Then here to is what? Subtract. Subtract. Then here I will leave this one. Okay, so I'll have to change it to D. Sorry, I'll make it to D here. Then here to is what? Multiply. Then here I can use all the times over there. Then here I'll change it a 6. Then D. Then lastly is the remainder, the modulo. Okay. Then here becomes let me use the modulo rather, so that I don't get confused. D over here. So let me put modulo over there. Okay. All right. So this modulo is all right. So yes, remainder or modulo rather. All right. Okay. So that is that. So let's compile it, and we see what happens over here. Okay, so if I enter 2 numbers, okay, all right, so let me come to the next line so that everything will look nice. Okay, because you are not seeing the effect well. Okay, yeah. All right, the last one, I save it and I compile it again. All right, so we have this, then we have that. Let's look at this. I think I'm making a mistake with the times, eh? Oh, sorry, there's a mistake over here. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. Hey, what am I making mistake with the times, eh? The only mistake I'm doing with the times? There's something wrong. Where's the mistake? Oh, I'm lost. Guys, have you seen the mistake? 60. What's wrong? What's wrong with the code? That's the multiplication. Oh, sorry. Here must be multiply, right? Now remember, you see the mistake that I did. C gave us what? A redundant number. Okay, this is what I told them to go and find out. Look at this. This is an error that happened. Okay, in 1960, this 61 or 63. Okay, where sure 62 is even here. 1962. The Mariner 1. When they launch it, 90 minutes in the sky, it exploded. Boom. Okay, the programmer caused life. He made a mistake. The missing hyphen. So C doesn't care. See, I made a mistake. He just put some number there for me. So you would think that your thing is working properly. But if you are building a system for, people to use, okay, and you make such mistake like this, forget it. They are done. The same thing over here with the addition. The addition to I made a mistake, right? So here must be what? Add. How am I making mistake like that? So subtract, multiply, subtract, divide. Okay. I think so. It's okay now. All right. So let me save it and let's compile again. All right. So this, that. Look at it now. So you see the arrangement. So here I have to, do the arrangement properly. But there's an escape character that we use is called tabbing. We'll learn in next week, okay, where we can tab. So you see here, I use the spaces over here to rearrange it. So if I want to rearrange it well, then I have to do calculation. For example, this one is taking 3, but this one is taking 2. So this one is taking 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I have to reduce this. Okay, I have to reduce this maybe to 1 to 2 characters. So here must be 4 rather. So I want to align everything. Then here 2 is only 1. So I have to make this one 3. Then here is 2, so I have to be 4. Then the modulo is making a mistake. 6 modulo 5. Look at the answer it's giving me. There's something wrong here. Hey, I'm multiplying. Where's the modulo? Oh, what am I making mistakes like that? Oh. Yeah, it's not correct now. Okay. So I think that one will return 1 digit. So I have to reduce that one also to 3. Okay. So some of these things you have to note the calculation. Each character there is a column. Okay. And C will reserve that column. So if I type 4 and 5, I think still the calculation is wrong. No. I think I have to do it well. This has gone too much. So here has to be 4. Then the modulo has to come back. Maybe you can leave it 1 like this, which is fine. All right, so it's up to you. Okay, I'm not going to waste time on this. So you are the one to make things look nice for people. Okay, you are the one to make things look nice for people. It's up to you. Okay, all right. So I think that is all. But let me with one thing I've not spoke about, which is what? The return. The return. Okay, so let me create a function, another file. Sorry, then make it main return. Okay, then I'm done for the day. All right. Now, if you look at, let me show you about the return. All right, it's over here. I didn't talk about it. Yes, the return statement. Okay. Remember I said in C, nothing is hidden, nothing is all protected. And C has the highest energy level. Last time I gave you guys the work to go and find out. C has the highest energy level. Why? I said it. Okay, I won't say it. So C is able to talk directly to the hardware. Okay. Now, if you take a computer system, the operating system interface you and the hardware. So the interface between you and the hardware is the operating system. So anytime you run a C program, this is what happens. The operating system will be called into action, but the operating system, once we read this or we include this, the operating system leave the running up to the main to do. So the main will start doing the work. So once main is done, we have to return back to the operating system, or we have to return to the operating system. How do you do that? This is where the return comes in. Now, if you look at the main function over here, I put a variable over here called what? Int. That means it's a function. You remember in Python, we learn about function returning values and also void function. Void function doesn't return anything. Okay, that means it doesn't call back or doesn't report to the operating system. Once it's done, it's done. Okay. So what do we do? When you see the int over here, it means at the end we are returning what? An integer. So in most C program, you see this return 0 over there. The 0 over there means everything works successfully. There's no error. It's not communicating to you, but it's communicating to the operating system. So if it returns 0 to the operating system, it means the operating system you can take over. Then the operating system, you see the operating system working down here. Okay, that means you have the compile file and you can now input whatever you are inputting. Okay, so that is the implication. The return 0 doesn't mean that it's returning to the operating system. You tell the operating system that I've run successfully, I don't have any error. Apart from that, if it doesn't return 0, any other thing is an error. Okay, it's an error. An operating system will call the main function again that you should check your program, because what the value you are returning is not 0, and I can't output the result. That's why when you leave something out like that, okay, you have an error. That means the operating system is saying that no, I can't output whatever you ask me to output. Okay, although I'm done compiling, or main is done compiling, but whatever you ask me to output, I can output. Okay, so that is that. So that is the return. So anytime you see void, if you see void over here, do not add the return. It will not work. I don't know whether this one will even work. If you see the void over here, don't return anything. Okay, so if you are supposed to run this, and let's compile it. Okay. Yeah, it's working, but we'll get to a point where the void over here will cause an error for this. When we start with the function, because we are doing a lot of printing. Because we are doing, yes, because we are printing, yes. Because we are printing, the return is nothing. I mean, it will overshadow it because this printf is over here. But if you are not printing and we are just returning something, okay, this will not work. If you put the void over here, it will give you an error. Okay, to give you an error because you are returning nothing. Okay, so here void means what? You are not returning, I mean, anything, or you're returning nothing. All right, if you are okay, then that is it. So the last part is these ones. Please, you have everything in the book. As I said, I won't share the slides with you guys. I want you guys to go and learn. I've shared the book. It's on Cosi or Cosi. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. So please go there, download the book. Every notes or the slides over here are prepared from the main teaching resource or material, the book, the test. I pick everything from there. So kindly go read. All right. So we have 3 errors: syntax error, runtime error, and logic errors. You should know the difference between all of them. Syntax error is obvious if you don't follow the language of what? Of C. For example, you leaving what? A semicolon, you not putting in quote or doing all sort of things. Then logic error, one of, we'll come back to the runtime, but let's look at the logic error. Okay, so one of the error with the logic error normally happens at the runtime, okay, which is a faulty algorithm. For example, you yourself, you did the algorithm, but you are not getting the output, the correct output. You said you want to subtract 2 numbers, but at the end, so to give you the subtraction is adding. That's a logic. It's logic because the logic in the algorithm is wrong. Then the runtime error, this is something that is very, very dangerous. The code will run fine till you get to what? A math error. One of them is what? Division by 0. Division by 0. Or multiply a number, or squaring, or raising a number to a very high value. That's a runtime error. You don't have enough space to contain the number. So what? The code will crash, or the program will crash. So can it take difference between the 2? Sorry, the 3. Syntax error is obvious, runtime error, and logic error. All right, so that is all. I'm done. Now you can go and read about this. If you are interested, you can go and find out what actually happened. Those of you who want to dive more into NASA and all those things will find out that this is what actually happened. When they launched the space shuttle, 90 seconds after, okay, it exploded because of what? An error in the code. Okay, people died. All right. So I'm done. Any question?